San Diego County moves from low to medium risk for COVID-19. What that means for your Memorial Day weekend coming up.
Plus, a message from lifeguards tonight as they brace for huge crowds at our beaches this holiday weekend. And crowds are also expected at theaters as Top Gun Maverick takes flight here and nationwide.
And talk about diving into your work. We meet the guy who dives for golf balls and turns your bad shots into cash.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now. We start tonight with breaking news out of Pacific Beach. Good evening, I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carla Chiquetto. Parts of two busy streets are closed right now just as the long holiday weekend gets underway. A warning if you're planning to drive that way, Grand Avenue is closed between Everett Street and Gresham Street. Faneuil Street is closed between Thomas Avenue and Hornblende Street. They could be closed for several hours.
You see the video right there. Police say a car and a motorcycle collided in that area. Now, the motorcycle rider, we're happy to tell you, is being treated for a broken leg, which is very terrible, but that video makes it look like it could have been much worse. Fortunately, no one else was seriously hurt.
Our other top story tonight. COVID-19 cases are on the rise right now in San Diego County as a big holiday weekend gets underway.
As crowds gather to celebrate, the CDC has raised the county's COVID risk level. CBS 8's Kirsten Holmes is live tonight to explain. Kirsten?
Hey guys, I'm here at the county health department because they are reminding everyone that they want you to keep in mind that COVID-19 is still that unwanted guest as we all get ready to celebrate the holiday weekend, and bringing out those masks could really help.
I think it's pretty obvious that people are getting tired, and we've been dealing with this pandemic for quite a while, and we just want people to be mindful of their own risks and the risk to others around them this Memorial Day weekend.
Cameron Kaiser is the Deputy Public Health Officer for the County of San Diego. He says he knows COVID fatigue has set in, but we should all still remain vigilant because COVID-19 is still a deadly threat.
They look at the rate of cases, the rate of new hospital admissions for COVID-19, and the percent of hospital beds which are occupied by COVID-19 patients.
Kaiser says when the CDC saw San Diego County's levels, that's when the risk of infection increased to medium from low.
In fact, they're probably even higher than we think they are, based on what we're seeing from wastewater and because so many people are testing at home.
Right now, according to the Department of Health, San Diego County has an 83.4% vaccination rate. But doctors warn our booster vaccination rate of 58.5% is too low, and those who are eligible must get boosted as well.
These numbers prove absolutely that the vaccines work and the boosters are important.
Chris Van Gorder is the president and CEO for Scripps Health. He says hospitals are not near capacity right now, but hospital workers could use a break.
They're recovering, but they're recovering slowly.
To give them the break that they need, doctors say be smart this holiday weekend.
So you have events outdoors. It's going to be a lovely weekend. The weather is great. Trying to keep your guest list down so that you have family and friends there. Making sure that you wear a good quality, well-fitting mask, especially indoors, and also be mindful of the folks around you who might have medical complications or who might do worse with a COVID-19 infection than you might.
Okay, so the officials we talked to today say that they are not going to make a new mask mandate because of this new risk level. But doctors we talked to, and they just sent me this, they say that rates of cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are highest among unvaccinated individuals and lowest among boosted individuals. So you got to keep that in mind as we all get ready to celebrate the Memorial Day weekend. Reporting live in Kearney Mesa, Kirsten Holmes, CBS 8.
Thanks, Kirsten. And as you make your weekend plans tonight, law enforcement and lifeguards want you to stay safe. It's time for fun, but people can put themselves in dangerous situations. There will be patrols on Mission Bay and at San Diego boat ramps to educate boaters and to enforce regulations. There will also be uniformed and plain-clothed officers patrolling the beaches. Remember, glass and alcohol are not allowed on the beach or in park areas.
It allows us to really focus on the bad apples that are potentially in a group without them knowing that we're there watching them.
Today, they also showed off a new tool to help work the water patrol. It's a new fireboat. They say it will help them respond to water emergencies quicker, and it's the first vessel in San Diego that can deliver foam for fighting fires on the water. Remember these bike lanes that caused an uproar in Mira Mesa? They're called advisory bike lanes, and the city of San Diego has scrapped plans for any of them in the future tonight. City staff tells CBS 8, quote, there are currently no plans to place ABLs anywhere in the city. City emails that we obtained show top communications staffers instructed staff to keep the other locations where they were proposed secret. However, emails show the city planned to put the bike lanes in at least 5 other spots. Those communities include South Park, Point Loma, Liberty Station, San Isidro, and along Pacific Coast Highway. CBS 8 broke the story on the advisory bike lanes in Mira Mesa and the backlash that followed, leading to their removal. Traffic is getting back to normal on the 905 in Otay Mesa tonight after a lumber spill this afternoon. It happened in eastbound lanes near La Media Road just about 12:30 this afternoon. We don't know yet what caused the incident, and it's not clear if it was a crash or if the lumber just fell off the trailer. 3 of 4 lanes on the eastbound 905 had to be closed through part of the afternoon.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott is promising a thorough investigation tonight as law enforcement officials in Uvalde admit they made big mistakes in their response to this week's deadly shooting. 19 children and 2 teachers were killed. Jason Allen is in Uvalde, Texas tonight with what we are now learning.
Hey, for the benefit of hindsight, where I'm sitting now, of course it was not the right decision. It was the wrong decision, period.
The head of Texas Department of Public Safety worked Friday to explain what caused the delay, stopping the gunman inside Robb Elementary School.
The on-scene commander at the time believed that it had transitioned from an active shooter to a barricaded subject.
Director Stephen McGraw said the on-scene commander wrongly thought there were no more children at risk, even as trapped students and a teacher repeatedly called 911 begging for help.
I am livid about what happened.
Governor Greg Abbott says he was misled about the police response to the shooting and is promising a thorough investigation.
Why did they not choose the strategy that would have been best to get in there and to eliminate the killer and to rescue the children? Every act by every official involved in this entire process is under the investigation conducted both by the Texas Rangers and by the FBI.
Law enforcement also revealed today that this school resource officer was not on the campus at the time of the shooting. They said he raced to the scene, but toward a man he saw at the back of the school who turned out to be a teacher.
In doing so, he drove right by the suspect, who was hunkered down behind a vehicle, where he began shooting at the school.
Authorities say the shooter gained access to the school through a door a teacher had propped open.
My husband and I don't have any children at all. So that's why it hits me right here.
The community continues to flock to a memorial outside the school, leaving flowers and remembering all of the lives lost. Jason Allen, CBS News, Uvalde, Texas.
Authorities say the 18-year-old gunman fired more than 100 rounds based on their audio evidence and had carried more than 600 rounds inside the school. Former President Donald Trump and Senator Ted Cruz were today's headline speakers at the National Rifle Association's annual convention in Houston. The former president called for a moment of silence for the 21 victims of the shooting and later called for a security overhaul in schools nationwide rather than any change in gun laws. Many critics called for the convention to be canceled or postponed. The manufacturer of one of the guns purchased by the Uvalde shooter is not attending that convention, saying it is not the appropriate time.
In California, new legislation is in the works to make it easier to sue gun manufacturers and hold them accountable for mass shootings. As CBS 8's David Goffredson reports, a pair of bills in Sacramento would include civil liability for marketing guns to minors.
But one of the biggest challenges is guns aren't made, for a 5-year-old to be able to shoot.
It's an assault rifle for kids.
When we set out to produce a small firearm for children in an AR-looking package, we were pretty sure we needed to have a wow factor in the safety area, right?
The JR-15 is 20% smaller than an AR-15, shown here at a gun show in Las Vegas.
You've got the higher capacity magazine, so
yes.
You've got a 5-round and
5 round, 10 round, 15 round. We've got people pushing us to make a 20 round as well.
It's precisely the type of marketing that could open up a gun manufacturer to civil liability. under 2 bills proposed in Sacramento.
This is really about the gun industry taking greater accountability for what the weapons that they put on our streets are doing.
San Francisco Assemblyman Phil Ting is the author of AB 1594. It would allow victims of gun violence to sue gun manufacturers and sellers. The other bill, AB 2571, would restrict advertising of firearms to minors.
Well, there's no question that the industry starts very young in terms of their marketing, not just in California, but really all across the country, in hopes that once someone turns the legal age where they can own a gun, that they will go out and purchase a gun.
Federal law generally shields gun manufacturers from lawsuits, but there are exceptions. Earlier this year, families from the Sandy Hook massacre settled a lawsuit against Remington for $73 million. Here in San Diego, a lawsuit is ongoing against Smith & Wesson by the survivors of the Poway synagogue shooting. But not everyone believes the gun industry is the problem.
It'd be like suing Ford if someone decides to drink and drive.
Michael Schwartz is with San Diego County Gun Owners PAC.
Suing a manufacturer, particularly a gun manufacturer, and blaming it on advertising is pretty ridiculous. You know, it's truly tragic that people decide to commit crime, but it's not the tools. We can't focus in on the tools.
Schwartz went on to tell me these mass shootings are a mental health problem, not a gun problem. But at this point, honestly and sadly, the gun control debate on both sides is starting to sound like a broken record. Carlo?
David, as you said, though, there is some new legislation that's going through in Sacramento. What is the status of those bills at the moment?
Both those bills have passed the state assembly, and Governor Newsom has indicated he will sign them if and when they come to his desk.
We'll see if those laws lead to any kind of serious change. David Goffredson reporting for us. Thanks, David.